evening, aspirants. I hope you guys are doing very well. With all things that are happening around, I know things have not really been sailing smooth, but hoping things really take a good turn and that we're able to focus back to the things that really matter, including the preparation for CAT. Now, when you begin to prepare for a competitive examination, the first and the foremost thing every aspirant must always engage themselves into is understanding the paper. It could be very easy for you to begin preparation, but is your preparation on point or are you doing enough? Sometimes a lot of things anchor our preparation down, and the reason why we're just not able to perform is simply because we're missing onto those little things which are required for the specific examination that we seem to be preparing for. My name is Suyukti Ma'am, and here I come to be able to deconstruct the paper, the CAT paper of the last 5 years, give you a modus operandi that as an aspirant, what are the kinds of things that you need to focus on, and how is it that you can align your strategies and your application to actually what CLAT requires. So without any further ado, let us begin with what we have. So we are here to figure out the VARC section of the CAT paper. It is going to be a brutal blueprint. The reason why I use the word brutal is simply because we are going to be talking no sugar-coated things. We are going to talk shop and we are going to talk about things to the point. So no manipulation, clear-cut data, and basis the data, all what we have to do is we have to customize and tailor fit our strategies, our application, our preparation so that the IMs are where we are by the end of the year. So 5 months, an average, 150 days, 3,600 hours, no fluff, no excuses. This has to be our game plan. And how do we set it right? Now, first things first, you must know your paper. CAT essentially tends to be asking reading comprehensions which are 16 in number. The ideal time that can be allocated to the reading section or the reading comprehensions can be anywhere between 25 minutes. The marks are going to be 48 in total because you're always awarded 3 marks for every correct question. We then have 8 questions which fall under the category called verbal ability. Now in the verbal ability, we essentially have PJs, paracompletions and summary types. So there are 8 in number. The ideal time that can be allocated to these are around 15 minutes, 24 marks in total, the entire of the English section making up for 72 marks and the sectional timeout being 40. I hope you guys already know of the fact that the CAT has a sectional timeout, which means the moment you finish your 40 minutes, the window collapses and you're redirected to the next section. So it's not like the other papers wherein you can take some time from here and use it there. All of the allocation is very specifically and very precisely done. And if we don't have a pattern or if we don't have a performance which fits within this window, then maybe CAT can be a long lost dream for us. I have helped for you to understand the CAT paper better. I have helped this entire approach by doing analysis of the last 5-year paper patterns that we've had. Now back in 2020, if you see, the RCs that we had typically were around science, art and culture, history, psychology, technology and politics. The kind of RC types, that is the question fabrication that we had, were mostly fact-based, analytical or inferential in nature. The VA ability had parajumbles, paracompletions, odd one outs, and the difficulty, the LOD of the paper was anywhere between moderate to difficult. So if you were somebody who wanted to qualify back then, the kind of genres that you should have been versatile were these. Getting on to 2021, they bounced more around technology, environment, literature, and social sciences. The kind of question types which are found in the reading comprehension abundantly were the reading comprehensions, were critical reasoning and again, inferential reasoning based. In the VA section, again, we had parajumble, summary, and odd one out. The technicality of the paper was anywhere between moderate to difficult. In 22, the RCs belong to the genres such as management, technology, environment, and humanities. The type of questions that we had mostly were fact-based and inference-heavy. Parajumbles, parasummaries, odd one out, and came sentence insertions, which was a new entrant altogether. The LOD was moderate. In 23, the passages revolved mostly around economics, literature, philosophy, and current affairs. Complex reasoning-based questions, inference-based, again, very heavy. Parajumbles, paracompletion, odd one out, and sentence insertions is what came out to be. The pattern, the LOD was again moderate to difficult. This last year, we had an abstract passage, social issue, science and technology, and history. Analytical and conceptual questions were dominant. We had critical reasoning-based questions and inference-based questions to ourselves. There was parasummary, odd one out, sentence insertions. The LOD again was anywhere between moderate to difficult. So this clearly establishes the fact that if you wish to qualify CAT, you will have to be an avid reader. And can you stop at just being somebody who's an avid reader? No. You will have to make sure that you are diversifying your reading sources, because if you don't have the knack to be able to understand the information from all of these genres, maybe our comprehension can be compromised. Some brutal realities that I wanted to get you guys face to face with. The RCs essentially have 16 questions. There are going to be 450 to 500 word passages conveying varied genres. The question types are generally going to be fact, analytical, heavy on the inference. Please make sure that you at least get about 12 to 14 correct in about 25 minutes. That's the time we have to ultimately come on to. Onto the VA, but there are 8 questions. There are going to be 3 para summaries. There are going to be 2 odd one out, and then there are going to be 3 sentence insertions. They are purely context driven. There is no mugging up the vocabulary that is required. The better you understand the comprehension, the better it gets. Aim to get about 6 to 7 right in 15 minutes of time that we tend to have. So to be able to build onto this time and this accuracy, a lot, truckloads of practice is what is going to be required. Now, how should your next 5 months look like? Now, I know for a fact that half of you must be in your final year, or a lot of you guys must be working. So what are the kind of, short activities that you should be indulging in so that your time is judiciously put to use and that you're also able to qualify for the CAT examination? Now, the first month, please make sure you develop on the reading habit and your vocabulary foundation. Reading for the CAT paper is a non-negotiable. You cannot do without it. You will have to make sure that your reading game is A game. So make sure that you read 1 RC passage, you do about 30 minutes of etymology. The grammar drills that you do, sentence correction sets. So the first month can be light. You can go slow, but eventually we need to have a snowball effect. We need to make sure that we're gathering more practice. By the time you're in your second month, please get on to the VA drills and mid-level reading comprehension. Pump up the process now. Press on the paddle. Try to amplify the complexity a tad bit more. Please start doing para summaries and odd one out, which are going to be 100 questions each in the entire month, of course. Timed CAT papers, VARC section, and mistake review. Here is when you have to start doing your mocks and start reflecting on the mistakes that you do. By the time we come to the third month, bump up your practice to advanced VA and tough RCs. And doing all of this, your reading, please, goes hand in glove. So don't neglect that altogether. Sentence insertion, CR sets about 50 questions. Please make sure you've timed and practiced your 22 and your 23 paper once to be able to see how well are you able to perform, because you're already in the grind and the groove by now. So track your time per question. By the time you are in the 4th month, full VRC mocks and deep analysis. There'll be more videos that I will come with wherein I will guide you step by step as to how an analysis should really be done. One full VARC mock weekly, which will make it 4 in total. Log every error. There has to be a log book wherein you're going to write down all the kind of errors that you do, type, cause, and the corrected drill. So what are the kind of takeaways that you take from the previous one, and you're not going to be doing the same goof up in the next. And in the last one, speed mastery and polish your final skill set. So speed is very important because 40 minutes is all that we have. If you're not able to give it a best shot in 40 minutes, maybe we might not just be able to do any good to ourselves. So there has to be RC blitz. That has to be done 20 minutes for every 2 passages that we have. VA sprints are going to be required, wherein you're going to be doing 15 questions in about 8 minutes. Light review and recharge. Please make sure that you're taking adequate rest as well. It shouldn't be that it is all about studying and nothing else. That's not clearly what we want. Now, please make sure that you are enhancing your qualifying chances. How are you going to do that? Laser focus on your weakness. Don't let the weakness slide. If you're doing a mistake, probe. Be investigative. Get the Sherlock from within and find out where exactly are you lacking. Diagnose your weakest VA type and blitz. Just do a blitzkrieg on it. Go German style, right? Harder than the rest. Please make sure that you have an active error journal, and error log is very important because only when you theorize the mistakes and you keep seeing do you understand your growth pattern. So record every mistake, why you made it and exactly how do you intend to fix it. Peer review sessions. Now, friends are a very underestimated but essential source. Friends are not just about gossip. A lot of times you can actually have some very good peer review sessions wherein you talk to each other to find out what have they been doing or where exactly does your practice stand. So weekly group meets, dissect 2 or 3 passages and VA sets together. Sit, brainstorm, judge. You'll feel a little bad or good, maybe gloat in the glory of it, but please make sure that you do sit with them. The competition rises. Do timed segments. At the end of the day, time is of ultimate essence. Practice mini sections against the clock to feel the pressure and to normalize that pressure. Please make sure you're doing active stress management. Just because you're preparing for CAT doesn't mean the world has to stop. Short meditative breaks, brisk walk, 10 minutes workout. Please make sure that you're doing enough. The mind should not come to a saturation. You need a lot of other things along with studies. Studies should not just be the only thing. Don't stop living is how it is said. How can you enhance your reading? Now that you're a fresher or you're already into the game, maybe these tips might just help you. The first is, of course, question first approach. A lot of times we get more clarity as to how exactly should we be approaching the reading comprehension if you have a glimpse at the questions first. The question will tell you what genre it is. If it is the kind of genre you like, attempt. If it is not the kind of genre you like, maybe defer it. Second, the type of questions. Are they your forte or not? If not, maybe come back to it. If yes, that's where you have to begin with. Keyword mapping. Circle key terms in question, hunt them down in the passage with scanning. Please make sure that you underline the words and you're like, okay, there's a question around it. I need to make sure that the moment I bump onto it in the passage, I need all of my indicators on. Paragraph summaries. Please begin to read. And when you read, start summarizing them. It's one of the best ways to be able to enhance the comprehension skill. Inference cushioning. When marking inferred answers, locate to contextual support. That is, go back to the passage. It's called reverse inference logic. You go back to the passage and you find out what have been those statements that have given you this idea. Authenticity helps. Speed drills. Make sure you time yourself on a 200-word passage until you hit 2 minutes. Your average reading speed is expected to be 240 words per minute. If you're not anywhere around this, maybe you know where to work and how much to work. Sources that you can rely on, of course, these are the Bible. These are the very yardsticks of your preparation. So these have to be taken into account. You can level up your RC's vault by doing a lot of inference and reasoning deep drills. So please make sure that you have a bank of all of these questions brought together. You can do some online mocks, realistic interface and analytics. You can find out whichever be the kind of, of course, we'd suggest top rankers, but you can find out wherever you wish to do it from and do the online mocks. Arun Sharma has been one of the most, and Meenakshi Dutt have been one of the most celebrated authors. Please make sure you can always use their books. The Hindu and The Economist editorial for broad context exposure. The kind of do's and the don'ts that you must follow for your cat's success. The do's: please have a strict regimen. Discipline takes you places. Never underestimate the power of discipline. Analyze your mistakes deeply. Please be reflective, interrogative, and always deep down analysis is what is going to do wonders. Practice under real exam conditions. Please make sure that you're actually giving it in the same time frame. You're giving it maybe with a couple of friends, could be a mock, but feel the real time pressure. Prioritize accuracy, then speed. If the accuracy comes in, the speed will come, but it doesn't happen the reverse. Take weekly breaks to recharge. It should just not be about all the studying. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. The don'ts: don't cram into any last minute shortcuts. Ignore recurring patterns. If you're seeing that it's the same kind of pattern you're making every time, maybe you need to get back to the fundamentals. Oversolve random questions. No. Please make sure that you have a few sources and accurate, credible sources. Get gimmicky. No hacks replace discipline. So don't be like, oh, it's a gimmick, it's a trick, it works. It might work 1 or 2 times, but not always. And burnout with marathon study sessions. Please don't do that. You're running 2 meals a day. You're doing your other stuff, maybe the college or the work as well. So please make sure that you are spending quality time while doing your CAT preparation and not just burning yourself out altogether. So this was my attempt. It was absolutely no color coding, no sugar coating. I was just trying to be honest, blunt, and these are the kinds of things that you will have to pull up your socks to. You will have to get into the discipline of, if CAT is what you really wish to qualify. The VARC is in 5 months. One path is going to lead to a 99th percentile. The other, of course, mediocrity. You want to be a mediocre student? I'm sure you don't. So please make sure that you inculcate these, or at least some of these, so that the CAT preparation is not a strenuous preparation, but rather a very systematic preparation altogether. And if you really need more strategies like this, you know what to do. Please subscribe to our channel. If you like the video, do hit a like, share it with like-minded friends, and help them out as well, because you're all in the same boat when it comes to a competitive examination. And with that, I'm going to bid goodbye. Thank you so much for being a lovely audience. I'm going to come again next time with some more tricks, some more understanding of how exactly should you be preparing. But until then, you have enough content to reflect upon. Please make sure that you do give this a thought and inculcate some, if not all. I'm going to see you guys next time again with another effective video. Until then, hope this helps. Thank you so much.